In this world, humanity was first created by God, followed by the creation of witches. Witches were endowed with unique powers, and their primary purpose was to aid humanity to the best of their abilities. They willingly embraced this role in the spirit of friendship with humans. However, the course of history took a dramatic turn during the 15th century. In the present day, we find a young boy named Anguish and a witch named Chloe embarking on a journey together. As they journeyed through the scorching desert, Anguish couldn't help but express his exhaustion due to the relentless heat. He wondered why Chloe didn't use her magic to cool the environment. Chloe, though capable of such feats, explained that her magic served a different purpose and that she was currently focused on finding their location on a map. Anguish, however, had already found a solution using his smartphone, which raised concerns for Chloe. She feared that the government might track them through the device. Anguish reassured her, explaining that he had constructed the smartphone himself, and it employed advanced summoning magic to replace traditional radio waves with multi-dimensional photons, rendering it untraceable even by the military. He playfully teased Chloe about her lack of expertise in this anime science voodoo, and her reliance on paper maps in the modern age. Chloe, irritated by Anguish's taunts, gave him a light smack on the head. Afterward, she urged him to get up so they could resume their journey. Anguish, undisturbed by the smack, questioned the necessity of their constant running. Chloe maintained a cheerful demeanor as she explained that the world's perception of witches hadn't changed much since the 15th century. Witches were still widely disliked, and they had to blend in with the general population in cities and go on the run when their true identities were exposed. While some places are more accepting of witches, that's where they're headed. If they reach their destination, they might be able to regain the happy life they once enjoyed and find a school for Anguish. However, Anguish insists on studying under Chloe, which makes her wonder if he has a preference for older women. Chloe is amazed by how she can still smile despite all the hardships imposed by the kingdom of Redia. One might expect her to despise the kingdom and dedicate herself to its downfall, yet she chooses to remain hidden. Anguish doesn't comprehend her reasoning and wishes he could exact revenge on those who made them suffer. Suddenly, he spots a military squadron approaching, so he readies his pen to confront them, but Chloe intervenes, deeming him too inexperienced. The king is informed of the squad's failure to capture Chloe and takes his frustration out on the messenger, branding him as incompetent. The messenger attempts to explain the challenges of capturing an ice witch with just one squad, but the king's men start beating him. Chloe has managed to elude the king so far, but he has no intention of letting her escape anymore. Regarding Chloe, after her encounter with the squad, it's safe to say they won't make it home in time for dinner tonight. Chloe stashes her magic staff and instructs Anguish to follow her to make their getaway. Anguish, however, is upset. Why won't Chloe allow him to fight alongside her? She argues it's due to his inexperience, but he proves her wrong by summoning a colossal sword from the sky, showcasing his formidable skills. That's quite an impressive resume. He understands the true motive behind this situation. Chloe's reluctance to allow him to harm humans stems from the fact that he is also a human. However, he's growing weary of his inability to shield the person he loves. Chloe embraces him, expressing her understanding. Their heartfelt moment is abruptly disrupted when one of the machines, previously used by the fallen soldiers, reveals their whereabouts. The Empire exploits this information for large-scale teleportation, transporting them to the capital city. A vivid green light envelops them as they float, and Chloe grasps that this is an advanced form of teleportation. Realizing they have been captured, Chloe and Anguish clasp hands, determined not to be separated from one another. In the capital, the king addresses his subjects, proclaiming that they once relied on witches and their powers for protection. But they grew envious of this power and turned to technological advancements, ushering in the era of gear expansion. With airships, impregnable buildings, and the luxury of watching cab videos on smartphones, they no longer require witches' power for survival. Now, armed with this newfound power, they aim for global dominance, with witches standing as their only opposition in terms of military strength. As he concludes his speech, Chloe and Anguish materialize on the stage, teleported before the king. Anguish quickly grasps the dire situation and, with a surge of determination, rushes forward to create a distraction, buying Chloe precious time to escape. However, his valiant effort is swiftly thwarted as he is tackled to the ground. Observing the person she cherishes most lying helpless on the ground, Chloe's patience with the humans reaches its breaking point. She readies herself to cast a powerful spell, a force she had refrained from unleashing before. She knew that obliterating the humans would leave Anguish with no home to return to, should anything befall her. But now, with the love of her life at risk, all such concerns fade as she prepares to invoke Absolute Zero, a spell capable of freezing the entire city. Yet, as the incantation flows from her lips, an unexpected shock paralyzes her. The humans have devised a machine that nullifies all magic in the vicinity, rendering both Chloe and Adonis utterly powerless and at the mercy of the king. The king takes this opportunity to taunt Chloe, highlighting her past deeds in aiding humanity, which now seem futile as she kneels before him, bereft of her magical abilities. To further demean her, he strips away her dignity, tearing her shirt off in front of the assembled crowd, while they shamelessly document the humiliation and share it on social media. Adonis, his heart aching at Chloe's torment, summons his courage once more, making a desperate charge towards the king to save her. However, the king's guards quickly subdue him, preventing his valiant effort. Growing weary of Adonis's defiance, the king orders his guards to execute him, a deadly threat looming over Adonis. Unable to bear the thought of Adonis meeting his demise, Chloe sets aside her pride and beseeches the king to spare his life. In a desperate bid to free Adonis, Chloe spun a sinister tale of her own wrongdoing. She claimed to have kidnapped him and raised him as her slave, all to convince the king to let him go. She cared not for her own fate, only Adonis's freedom. But the king, unmoved by her plea, revealed a chilling resolve. From his pocket, he drew a handgun, its menacing barrel aimed squarely at Chloe's trembling head. Adonis, paralyzed with powerlessness, struggled to unleash a spell to protect Chloe, but each attempt met with failure. Time stood still as they confronted their impending doom. Chloe, her eyes locked onto Adonis's, offered a final glimpse of warmth and understanding. In that harrowing moment, Adonis's mind raced back to the very beginning, when Chloe had rescued him from the cold, unforgiving streets and given him hope. However, even the power of flashbacks is unable to save them from this situation, and Chloe is about to say her last, "I love you," get shot before she can finish. Truly the saddest moment of the season. After killing her, the king turns away and orders his men to pump her body full of lead, leaving her body as a mass of pulverized flesh. Adonis screams out in pain while the crowd cheers on the execution, and an axe is brought out to cut her head off. The king proudly displays the head of Chloe and proclaims victory over the witches. But you know Adonis is never going to forget what has transpired today and the friend he lost. 10 years later, a large chunk of humanity's situation has gone to shit, and they are suffering at the hands of the people who killed Best Girl, the kingdom of Redia. In a detention cell, two really malnourished women are fighting over a loaf of bread and are about ready to kill one another over it. But then this girl somehow manages to keep her makeup game on fleek while in prison, offers her loaf of bread to them to settle the argument. I personally wouldn't do that, but she seems really happy to have them no longer fighting, even if it means no bread for her. One of Daroka's friends, Anna, comes over and asks if she will be okay since she hasn't eaten anything in a while. But she says she is fine and full of energy. Anna tells Daroka that she is really kind-hearted despite the current state of the world. No matter how far advanced the technology of the world became after they no longer had witches to point their guns at, they began pointing their guns at each other, and a never-ending war was waged within the human world. The people were led to believe that the world would get better once all the witches were gone. This is definitely not better. And here they are in the gulag. Daroka notices that Anna is upset, so she tries to cheer her up with a little puppet show. Even though they were dragged here after they lost to the kingdom, but it will surely work out somehow. The puppet show manages to brighten Anna's mood slightly, but that brightness quickly fades as a guard comes in and starts yelling for number 218 to come out. The guard continues to tell for number 218. And as Anna looks down at her hands, she is horrified to discover that she is 218, and the one that they are calling out. Darova notices this, and at the last second, switches out her number with Anna to spare her friend whatever unknown fate awaits. She is taken to a room where this person is evaluating her and tells her to strip down. She is shocked, but the guy tells her to get used to it since this is all she is good for now. The manager walks up to her and tells her that the kingdom of Redia is the world's superpower, and the only use Redia has for her is as a sex slave. So she is going to become a sex slave to some lord of the kingdom. And there is nothing she can do about it. Except there is something she can do about it, and bites the manager's finger to get him to let go of her. She takes off running, but also steals the manager's phone in order to set all the other prisoners free. However, the phone requires voice authentication to be able to perform commands. So Darova is forced to do an impression of the manager to get it to open all cells, and then they all run like hell. Darova comes across a large door while running and uses the phone to unlock it. Inside, she finds a large pod, but she is apprehended by guards shortly after. However, her previous command to unlock all cells also unlocks this one, and we see the same chamber in which the prisoner is imprisoned. He puts all his strength and gets out of that chamber. The guards present here want to stop this prisoner, but they are all unsuccessful, and this prisoner kills them all very badly. After that, the prisoner goes to the slave girl present there, and he thinks that he is going to kill her, but he helps her in breaking her chains and goes away from there. And in the prison hall, it is announced that all the prisoners are in a hurry to run away from here. So the squad here is tied up. And on the other hand, we see that Senior Executive Yamato advises a special guard to use Class 5 weapons to catch this prisoner, which tells us how dangerous this prisoner is going to be. Looking at the behavior of this guard, the lieutenant present there says that this will work. Then we come to know that this guard is very trained and skilled. And we see that the guard of the slave girl is very scared. First, the girl has run away from there, and then she has taken the SS rank criminal from there. After which he is very scared that what will happen to the seniors. And this man tells us that he is no longer a prisoner. He is his Adonis, which is a SS rate criminal and is very dangerous. Now Adonis has entered the city, and as soon as he reaches there, he destroys the city. He summons a very large bullet gun and kills it in a building. And on the other hand, we see that he has reached the agent's cell and kills every prisoner. After killing them all, he kills the man who takes care of the slave, because he is not able to do his job well. Adonis thinks that what Chloe would have told him now. Then he imagines in his mind that Chloe would have told him that you have left from there. You should live your life. There is nothing to take revenge. He is very happy to think that, but he is scared to take revenge on it, and he causes a lot of destruction in the city. He starts killing everyone without seeing that he is a woman. Old, he is a child. He starts killing everyone equally. Adonis summons a very large giant and destroys the entire city. He starts breaking the surrounding buildings, starts crushing innocent people, and kills everyone very badly. And we see that the army is completely alert, and the whole city is also alert. Adonis wants to go to the emperor from the city without any delay, and wants to kill him right now. But on the giant of Adonis, attacks start from all kinds of weapons. Everything from missiles to tanks is used on him. And in the same way we come to know that non-witch people can only use writing-style summoning magic. And Adonis also uses the same magic, which is very powerful. Adonis summons a machine gun there and starts killing people very badly. There are also fighter jets that start launching missiles on the giant. In this destruction, a child is about to be buried under the building, but then that slave girl reaches there and saves her life and gives her to an old woman and leaves to stop Adonis. She considers herself responsible that such a big criminal has left because of her. And on the other hand, we see that Emperor Goth has become very, very sick. He has such a disease that he has no treatment, and he is going to die very soon. He starts vomiting blood, but his wife takes care of him and tells him to rest. There Adonis uses his magic and looks like he is killing the guards badly. There that girl comes and tells him to stop him and says that I can't see other innocent people die. This just makes Adonis crazy and starts laughing very loudly. These people are the same people who saw Chloe dying and did nothing. Hearing all this, Adonis gets very angry and goes to kill that girl. Then that girl tells that she is also a magician, and she tells her name Doraka. When she is about to complete that line, Adonis grabs her in anger and wants to kill her. She thinks she is lying. She tells Doraka that if you are a witch, then how could you see your companions dying? Why didn't you come to save us? How could you let them die? Then she turns around and says that I was helpless and I had to protect myself. Hearing this, Adonis gets even more angry and is about to kill her. Then she says that we can bring Chloe back to life. Hearing this, Adonis gets very emotional. But she gets very angry that she is lying to save herself. She is going to kill Doraka again. Then Doraka says that we can bring her back to life with your memories. Hearing all this, Adonis gets very angry and puts her sword on Doraka's neck and says that I will kill you right now. She replies that if you are happy after killing me, then you can kill me without a doubt. Hearing this, Adonis sees Chloe inside Doraka and saves her. Then she starts crying for help. Yes, I have to save Chloe, tell me what I have to do. Doraka and Adonis shake hands and are about to leave. But then a very big sniper gun is shot at Doraka and Doraka's body is shattered. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to watch more videos like these, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment.